Well, I fell in love with the spice of kind of how Nashville did their chicken. Whether it be ribs, hot chicken, awesome salads. We just wanted to have kind of a different thing for people who love spice.
You always heard location, location, location. Well, for me, I followed the sales. I said, where are the places where our competitors are the busiest? Why not head to those spots?
My name's Stephen. I'm one of the founders of the Cookshack.
I'm Mark Rodgers, CEO of the Cookshack, and I've known Stephen for 2 decades.
Mark and I worked together the previous brand we were at. You know, his father started, my dad helped grow for 25 years.
There was a group of us trying to buy a company in Nashville, Tennessee that did hot chicken. I picked up the phone and called Stephen when I thought that was a reality, and unfortunately the deal didn't happen. Then we decided one day, let's go ahead and do this on our own.
Well, I fell in love with the spice of kind of how Nashville did their chicken. Whether it be ribs, hot chicken, awesome salads. We just wanted to have kind of a different thing for people who love spice.
Just about everybody ordered chicken, which looks amazing, but I decided to order the ribs, which are excellent, fall off the bone.
Stephen spent 3-4 days a week for the next year working on food and recipes.
My father got me in touch with Chris. Chris said, hey, I've got a kitchen with all sorts of stuff in it you can borrow. Little did he know I'd be there for 1.5 years, pretty much 3 or 4 times a week, just cooking food, having people taste it, bringing people in.
The people here were amazing, not only in offering us the space to use, they were wonderful in guiding us and helping us, and I don't think we would have been as prepared. I don't know that we would have opened as quickly. I don't know that it would have been as phenomenal of first 2 years as we've had if it wasn't for Chrane.
We grinded it out in our first restaurant for 1 year. I've listened to what our family says, you know, our guests, and now we're back to grinding in Webster and College Station.
I always felt that location was extremely important. You always heard location, location, location. Well, for me, I followed the sales. I said, where are the places where our competitors are the busiest? Why not head to those spots? It was a race, Dallas or Fort Worth, because we wanted it in our backyard, and it just so happened the first site we found that kind of fit everything we wanted that we could buy was in Fort Worth. I think in 2024, we will finally decide to leave the great state of Texas and head out to markets where we've done business in the past.
It's my job to make every location work. It starts with great people. We have unbelievable leaders in our restaurants, and that's the only way we're going to be able to do this, is giving our people a place so they can grow their careers. Ultimately, we have great recipes, we've got great buildings. If we don't have the great people, it's not going to work anyways. So
we saw 300 people standing in line in Nashville, Tennessee, and after we ate the food in that establishment, it wasn't very good. We want to be Texas hot chicken, not Nashville hot, because it is different, and in our opinion, it is better.
But we didn't want to just be hot chicken. You know, that's where we had a shack salad with dates and goat cheese and avocado. In our Fort Worth restaurant, man, those salads have taken off. I know lots of people who've never even had our chicken or ribs that they come in for a salad once, twice, 3 times a week. Our proteins, our chicken tenders, while everybody else in the market is at 1 ounce, 1.25 ounce tenders, we spend the money on beautiful 3.5 ounce tenders coming out of 9.5, 10-pound birds. Right now we're currently teamed up with Mount Air, which is a great chicken company. You know, kind of our brand is using top level ingredients. Now, our AMF are the 3 hottest peppers in the world. If you're gonna try it, you do one. But AMF is a fun little thing we have with a lot of the guests.
We had Stephen, myself, my father, and another partner, and we could never agree on names. We tried to come up with the perfect moniker for our hottest heat level. One day we're sitting around the table and I said, there's a ski run in Aspen Snowmass called AMF. I remember I was on a trip with some friends and we were up at the top of the mountain, there was a lot of powder, and we had an instructor with us, and his name was Peter, and he was from Austria. And I said, Peter, what does AMF stand for? And Peter brought his goggles down and he said, Adios adios mother, and he dropped off the side. When I shared that in the meeting with my dad and Patrick, my dad said, absolutely not. And I said, wait, with my kids at ski school, they call it adios my friend. And my dad goes, I can live with that. And the other guys in the room said, well, really, we're going to call it the other one. I said, well, you know what, we'll just leave it as AMF and you can kind of make it out whatever you want. We were in this very room. We had talked about desserts, and dairy helped if you'd eaten anything spicy. It helped kind of cool the tongue. We said, let's try to put an ice cream sandwich on the menu.
My Aunt Peggy happened to be in town, brought us her oatmeal butterscotch cookies, which is one of the reasons why I'm so fat, is because I can't stop eating those things.
And I'm like, who's Aunt Peggy?
I was just like, hey, something very cool that not a lot of people are doing, an ice cream sandwich, cut it up real quick. We can give them to people who have never been here before, little kids. When we were developing that dessert, I called my aunt up and said, hey, I don't have any money for you, but your name's going on the menu forever and you're gonna be Aunt Peggy's ice cream sandwich. Cowtown has been an awesome partner of ours. Sean came up to us and wanted to know how we could get more beer. So I told Sean, I was like, hey, I don't sell a lot of beer. I sell crazy amounts of margaritas. But if you really want to move some beer through us, I need a relatively inexpensive beer that I can cook with. He came back to me about a month later with an unbelievable product. To make our beer batter, we use a blend of Cowtown, our beer batter, a little bit of soda water. You'll hear everybody holler, I need beer. And boom, that's where a gallon of beer's coming out in the Cambro measuring unit.
There's nothing greater than seeing that pitcher moving from the back of the kitchen all the way to the bar, because it's just kind of a sign that you're busy.
Cambro's been an awesome partner for us. We use all their shelving, all their small wares.
We don't even ever think of an alternative, to be quite honest.
It's literally how we, function every day.
I feel like the metal racks that I've seen, and we haven't used many over time, they weren't very sturdy. And with the Cambro racks, I always felt like I never worried about putting anything heavy. Like if we made a huge recipe of mac and cheese, I felt like I don't have any issue about putting this up.
Easy wipe down, easy maneuvering it around. As we evolve, we have to play Tetris a lot of times. I don't have the biggest facilities. That shelving, it's very easy to work with, and adjusting heights and popping it off and cleaning it so we can keep a nice clean restaurant.
When I grew up, my father would leave town for an opening, and every time he said, I'm nervous. And I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. And today I totally have learned that I'm just like my dad, because I'm like, I don't know if anybody's gonna show up, and I don't know if they're gonna like it, but it also makes it very rewarding when the first person that walks into the new restaurant loves the experience, and it makes you glad that we're doing what we're doing.
You really can't take anything for granted. Everything is different. You think you have it down and you never do. And you just keep grinding away. As long as your core beliefs, you're still, you never lose that focus, and continuing to drive the brand through that to become successful. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next time.
Tiny corners we've learned to cut and survive during the pandemic, it's time to break those walls down and get back to elite level service, over the top. Not everything needs to be nickel and dimed. We're not surviving anymore. We're now flourishing.